Welcome to the Garage by Ridebuyph. So what we have here today is none other than the MG ZS. MG's sort of entry-level crossover offering, which, goes up against the likes of the Toyota Yaris Cross and other entry-level compact crossovers. So what makes this car so special? Well, for starters, it's powered by a 1.5-liter inline-4 engine, produces around 112 horsepower. But of course, when it comes to vehicles like this, power and performance are not the main point of focus. Instead, what we're going to focus on is styling and practicality. So as you can see here, from the fascia, it has MG's, it looks like a sporty little crossover, something we're all familiar with when it comes to MG styling. You get full LED headlights with very sleek looking daytime running lights. And over on the side, you get very premium looking alloy wheels, 17 inches, two-tone, giving the car a very premium feel. And of course, this is a crossover, so there are a few rugged elements such as this body cladding over here on the fender flares and on the side of the car. Suspension duties, as you can see, it has a bit of ground clearance here. The front suspension consists of a McPherson strut setup. Meanwhile, yung likod naman, simpleng torsion beam setup. So now let's move on to the inside of the car to see what makes it even more special. Moving on to the inside of the MG ZS, the first thing you're gonna notice is this very loud red trim. So as you can see, it's designed to look a bit sporty despite it being a family crossover. Now there's red accents here, over there, and there's even faux carbon fiber stitching on the leatherette interior trim over here, as well as on the door cards. But, gaudy trim aside, what we get here is a pretty well-appointed cabin, no? Meron tayong malaking display dito. Meron tayong fully digital instrument cluster na yung speedometer niya is on the left side, which is numbers yung readout niya, hindi siya gauge, no? Pati yung tachometer, which I personally find a bit annoying, no? Yung tachometer niya, hindi siya gauge pero numero siya. So as you rev the engine, number siya. Yan. So that's something that enthusiasts might not really like, but at least you have a tachometer. So next, you also get this gigantic screen in the middle, no? So kompleto siya. You get everything you need. Meron siyang Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, yun nga lang wired. But that's okay, kasi it's a win-win technically. If you have a wired Android Auto CarPlay, you get to charge your phone and you get a more stable connection too. So let's talk about the climate control, no? So everything here, you just use these buttons to control the climate, the volume, the menus, which is actually good kasi physical buttons siya. So as you're driving, may tactile response. You can keep your eyes on the road. Pag in-adjust mo yung aircon, in-adjust mo yung volume, botones lang siya. We also get a traditional drive selector in this case. So, nothing fancy. And you get a manual mode with a plus-minus, which we will try later on. It's important to note, however, that these gears are just simulated because this car sends power to the front wheels via a CVT. So, of course, mas premium siya ng konti. MG is known for making their cars a bit more premium than others. And that's evidenced by, you get the gigantic moon roof that spans the entire roof of the vehicle front to back. So hindi lang yung driver side mga kinabang, pati yung mga passengers sa likod can enjoy the view of, the moon roof. Okay, so let's see what it's like in the back of the MG ZS. So entering the back, so as I mentioned, it is a subcompact crossover. So don't expect super maluwag na seating. Nonetheless, ako 5'8". This is my driving position. You can see medyo marami pang legroom dito. Tsaka maraming headroom. The same story is true for the passenger who sits in the middle. The seat is a little bit higher, but there's still more than enough headroom, around 4 inches of headroom and a lot of legroom as well. Passengers are also going to appreciate the 2 aircon vents here, as well as the 2 USB charging points in the back. Just remember, given that medyo makitid yung kotse, if you're gonna be 3 full-size adults, it's gonna be a bit cramped. But if you're just 2 or if medyo payat kayo, you can actually use this car on longer road trips. So let's move on to the back. So the MG ZS has an impressive amount of cargo space. So as you can see, medyo malaki na yung space without even having to fold the rear seats down. I'd assume you can fit maybe 2 or 3 maletas here. I don't think you'd be able to fit a golf bag just yet. But for sure, pag binaba natin yung rear seats, kakasya na yung golf bag. Itong tonneau is also removable, but I think we will also have to fold down the rear seats in order to remove the tonneau. So let's do that now. So folding down of the rear seats should be very simple. There's a pull tab over here. Just pull and the entire thing goes down. Same story on the other side. The seats fold down and the tonneau can be easily removed like that, and with the strings. Okay, so as you can see, it's napakalaki ng space. You can fit, I'm sure you can fit 5 golf bags. You can fit a bicycle in here. You might just have to remove the front wheel of the bicycle. But speaking about bicycles, if you're gonna carry a bike, might as well use the functional roof rails. So kita mo, functional siya, matibay siya. It's mounted to the roof of the car. You can just attach universal crossbars and a bike rack to make things all the more easier for us cycling enthusiasts. Okay, so why don't we go and take this thing out for a drive? So now let's talk about the suspension. So like most crossovers in this category, no, ang MG ZS, nakaano siya sa harapan, naka McPherson strut sa harap, tapos sa likod, torsion beam. So in essence, the torsion beam is just a live rear axle, isang solid alambre which connects the two wheels together. So the result is a ride that is a bit wallowy, pero okay naman yung laro ng suspension such that it's very comfortable for daily driving. Now let's talk about the performance. So the performance of this car is delivered via a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. So ang total power output niya is just 112 horsepower. So nothing much. And it also delivers power to the front wheels only via a CVT. Pero ang maganda sa kanya, so si MG thought of the enthusiast pa rin kahit paano kasi meron siyang manual mode. Wala siyang paddle shifters, pero meron siyang manual mode dito sa gear stick. If you flick it to the right, meron tayong plus minus, and it puts the car on sport mode, no? So pushing it down will shift the gears down. So medyo may lag ng konti, but that's okay. So we're now on quote-unquote second gear, and if we floor it and we shift to third, you know, okay siya, very engaging ng konti. Meron siyang sound, you hear the engine a bit. But let's be real, wala masyado acceleration, wala masyado nangyayari. That's okay, no? That's okay. Okay, so back to regular drive mode now. Okay, so now let's talk about the driving position. So ito MG ZS, family car siya, hindi siya sports car. So expect a very neutral, a very comfortable seating position. So meron siyang adjustability like all cars. It has the seat electronic adjust, forward, back, up and down, recline, and incline. Meron din siyang steering wheel adjustment, up and down lang. So it doesn't telescope. So that might be a bit frustrating for those drivers like myself who prefer the steering wheel to be a bit closer. Pero you know, everything is just muscle memory. It just takes getting used to. Also, it has, you know, a decent amount of, you could say, driver aids. I don't see any cruise control here, but it does have auto hold, which is useful for traffic, stop and go traffic. So you don't have to keep your foot on the brake pag nakastop ka sa traffic. Sorry, correction. Meron cruise control. Cruise control is here on the stick on the left side of the steering wheel, right below the signal light. So it looks fairly simple to operate. And of course, cruise control, as we all know, is something that's useful on the highway. You don't need to keep your foot on the gas pedal. Nakaabang ka lang sa preno if ever you need to slow down. Okay. So that's pretty much everything we need to know about the MG ZS. Simple. It's a fairly affordable crossover. You know, it's no frills basically. So yeah, if you're interested in this crossover, adding it to your fleet of cars or as your first family car, well, you're lucky because there are quite a lot of MG dealerships across the Philippines. It's one of the fastest growing sort of new brands here in the Philippines. So chances are if you head over to your nearest MG dealership, they'll have this car in stock and on display ready for you to check out. Okay, so that was our quick ride along with the all-new MG ZS. Let us know what you think in the comments below and stick around for the full written review on the garage by Ridebuyph.